Hello everybody, welcome to a follow-up episode on Lance's Garage, where we're going to complete the installation of the R600 intake here on the Volkswagen Mark 8 2022 GTI. This is going to be correcting the secondary air pump filter that did not get installed because the owner didn't know that it was needed. So we ordered, or he ordered, the ECS kit here that is not, says it doesn't fit the Mark 8 GTIs, but we're going to see. This is ECS part number 3175226. We have high hopes it'll fit though, because I've actually got my old airbox out of a Mark 7, and this is the airbox out of a Mark 8. And even though they're different part numbers, and there are some slight differences here and there, for the most part, they look the same. The mounting grommet over here and over here are the same, and this is where the, I believe, the ECS kit goes underneath this guy on the newer box over here. They have the same secondary air pump inlet right here. Same this other tube. Very similar front ends. The bottoms are virtually identical. You know, grommets here, the drain location here, which actually, like what we were saying before, the R600 does not mount up to this drain. So these, you can see these have clips on the bottom, and we'll show it here when we pull that off. This is what the drain looks like on it, and this is actually the drain from the 7. There's a connector piece that's gone. It's right here, and you just kind of put that on. There's a clip that holds it in, and then it just snaps onto there. But there's no, on the R600, it's just a circular port with not these notches to clip this on the bottom. So we're going to take a look at that while I'm in here too. But just wanted to show this real quick to show that the air boxes, even though the different part numbers are virtually identical to each other on a Mark 7 and a Mark 8, the biggest difference I can see really is right here. This is a little bit more indented over here. Other than that, there are small casting differences, but everything seems to line up. So we're hopeful that this part will work. So let's see how this works out. So these secondary air pumps are on, the US models for sure. I'm guessing that they're not on maybe the European models. My guess is this is some sort of California smog compliancy thing. But anyway, we're just going to be taking this guy, we're lifting this out, the piece, the mounts over here, over here, and we're going to hope that this air filter goes in right here, and it's going to get routed down around the bottom. So we're going to just check and see if all this works. If not, we'll figure something out. The important thing is to get a filter on this, so it's not just sucking in unfiltered air, and worst case, that we know that the kit will do that. So if we just get a filter on them, we can zip tie it to something and get it out of the way to where it's secured and the air's filtered. That's a win. I'm hoping that the kit works because it's a cleaner install that way, but it's not a showstopper. So basically, removal, you can see the other video that we did that showed the install, but these are all T25 bolts. These two are what's holding it in here. These other screws are just holding this top cover down. So we're going to have to remove both these and the top cover. so that we can then get to pull the filter out, remove the bottom piece by detaching it from the grommets, and then trying to get the new filter installed. Okay. Also, this tube right here. There we go. And I think, I don't know if I'm going to remove the filter or not. Let's see. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and remove it just to be sure here. So I'm just going to... up there. Just take that off. And now you've got your two, these are the only two things holding the airbox down. So we're just going to lift up, pop that one, and pop that one. And now we just got to be careful again removing this whole piece here, again, because this connection, and just kind of got to finesse it out here so that you don't tear up everything. Just requires a little bit of doing that. So the hope is we route this hose, I believe, in the directions, comes under here. And I'm going to verify that here in a second to make sure. Comes up right here, and then should be something like that, I believe. But again, we shall see. Okay, a little bit of a problem with the kit as it came. I think they just, so the directions show this going on like this, but this filter should be placed this way. So all we're going to do is just loosen up this clamp, pop these loose here, and then turn this filter so it's going this way on where my thumb is, and then it'll be right. Not a big deal. So this is pretty easy to do. You just unscrew the clamp. These two pieces come off. This is actually a nice quality, feels like billet piece. Just put it together back like that, and then we'll hose clamp this down. I did flip this clamp around too, so that when it is sitting on this, it will be have the screw pointed over here, so easier to change in the future, but just a simple thing that needed to be redone. So in the kit they also give you these two pieces. I believe this piece is just if you have to replace the grommet. It looks like what goes on the airbox. This piece actually goes over the filter piece here. Just dropped it. Okay, just this goes here. This goes up the top of it like that, so that it kind of acts as a rubber isolator, hold it in. This was the secondary air pump routing right here. There might be this thing in the way. We're going to see. Again, blood sacrifice to the GTI. It apparently likes those. And we're just going to see about connecting this all together now, make sure everything fits, and then get the airbox back on top. Okay, so it does fit on here. I did put a little bit of lithium grease just on the inside of the ECS housing that goes on, because there is an O-ring on this secondary air pump. Just clicks right on there. Got it all mocked up here, so now all I should need to do is put the airbox back in place, and should be good to go. So before I put it back in place, I just wanted to show the drain tube connection on here. You can see this is just circular on the R600, and this has that push fit connector housing for the drain here. Let's just go grab the drains real quick. So you can see like this would come down. This is the stock. This is actually a Mark 7 drain here, but you just push that on. Actually this thing's a little crooked. Yeah, so push on, snaps, bring it off. There's nothing really to hold this guy in place. So I don't, they tell you on the R600 install the drain, but I mean I could push it in, but there's nothing really to secure it. So we just started it in here. We are seeing if we can just get this guy. We just kind of got to finagle some plastic around here. Watch out for these cables. Again, this one thing is kind of in the way, the coolant tube, and then it's just kind of move it back into place, get it kind of situated here. Move the camera real quick. It is kind of blocking right there, so this might not quite work. Okay, so this box does drop down quite a bit right here, so it's very deep here. So this orientation of this setup, you can see it. I'm hitting the actual fabricated piece here. I don't know if I can move it out of the way, so I'm going to try and finagle it around here. Can't hold the camera on doing that, and we'll see how this works. Okay, so I don't think that it's going to quite work. Unfortunately, where it's got to go, I don't see any way to route. There's not enough play in the hose. Oh, sorry. And you can see this piece goes kind of deep here on this kit. The R600, they could have, you can see the drain plug right here. They made this super deep right here. So it's actually kind of interfering with everything going together. So I'm going to try and take off the bracket and see if there's a way, like I know on the APR kit that I used on my All-Track over there, just had to zip tie it to something with just the filter on the hose. I was hoping that this bracket would work because it is a cleaner setup. Maybe I'll use that on, see about using that on mine, and just give the owner of this one like a little bit of compensation, or just say the time is. But maybe I'll see about reusing this one on mine. Don't know, but I'm gonna have to figure out a way to still work with this secondary. I might put it back here, depending on how much room I got, or something like that. Maybe zip tie it to the cold air charge pipe back here. So I'm going to figure that out, and we'll see. But unfortunately, this R600 is too deep in here to allow this cable to be effectively routed underneath of it. I'm going to lift it off here and just check everything again, see if I'm missing something. Okay, so just a follow-up. I tried to put it right here. This isn't going to allow it over here. The filter's too big. I was thinking I could just secure it to here. I don't think it'll go back here. So I'm thinking, I know it can't go over here. There's not enough excess tube to get it out to somewhere like over here, unfortunately, no matter which way you route it. Yeah, there's just not, the way this airbox design just doesn't give you enough clearance. It was clearly designed thinking that this secondary air pump, and I believe it's because it's only a US only filter. So what I'm leaning towards at the moment is just taking it like this, and then probably just zip tying it here in place once it's secured. I think that's about the only way to do it, unfortunately. It would be really nice if I could use something like that's already here, but I don't think there's enough room. But I'm going to try a few more things just to see if there's any way to do this and have it be semi right, and we'll go from there. Okay, when you're putting this back together, just slide this piece of plastic underneath the front cowl here, put in these two T25 screws, and then we're gonna just kind of work the top cover in here. Okay, I actually put the filter on first, then slide this underneath of this hose, and then put the screws back on. I'm not going to torque them down with this. I'm just doing this to help speed up the initial putting them in. I'm going to go slow. Make and then we're just going to come over here and just tighten them by hand so that we don't, again, crack any plastic. Okay, so decide to remove the cover, and I'm just going to put the zip tie here like so and secure it to this. Okay, so here's everything all buttoned up. I used a white one. Again, I believe this is temporarily a white tie wrap. Would have used a black one under normal circumstances, just didn't have one that size available. Again, this might be temporary. Okay, so follow up. After I did a quick test drive, I was getting a secondary air pump not getting enough airflow. It does get pretty warm right here. There should be plenty of airflow there because of the fans. But after that, and just looking at some things, and I didn't have to take any of this out to do this, I was able to actually just pull this off, separate the filter from the hose, pull the hose underneath of here, and move it over to this side. So now I've got more space. You can see there's some vents down at the fender well that allow fresh air to get pulled up here. So we're going to do that instead of having it over here. Just decide to move it over here. Again, temporary zip ties. And hopefully that'll clear up some problems. But there is the possibility that Volkswagen has got these things tuned now to where the it is very sensitive on the secondary air injection pump. Again, those are only in there because of EPA, maybe California even. So it's not, like I said, I don't even think it's there in other countries. So just going to try and move this over here and see what happens. We might have to install the owner's JB4 that he purchased sooner than we wanted, though, depending on if this check engine light keeps coming on for a secondary. It's actually, what I'm getting now is secondary air injection pump not pulling enough air. So this is normally pulling filtered air from this. It should be getting air through this filter here. Maybe it's over oiled from the factory or something, or from, because it is an oiled type filter. But we'll just have to see how it goes and maybe come up with another solution. I'm going to take it for another quick test drive. I'm not going to record that one, and then check the codes again and see what I get. Okay, so second test drive after moving the secondary air pump over to the closer to the ECU and over the forward part of the front fender well on the driver's side. Didn't get the code this time, so we're just going to see how that goes. And we're gonna have to get some more miles on it too, see if it throws the secondary air injection pump not getting enough flow air. We'll update the channel after the driver gets some more miles on it, and we'll see. But I think that location is probably better for the filter assembly on that secondary air injection pump to get moved to. So I would recommend to you to put it there. Again, I'll do an update maybe a week from now and let you guys know what we find out. It is possible we might have to see about getting, like I said, the Burger JB4 on so that the computer, you know, starts thinking differently. It might just be so sensitive with EPA regs, it's just throwing stuff to be so within spec. It's crazy. You know, Volkswagen had that scam with the diesels, so they're probably getting a little extra scrutiny. But if you like this episode of Lance's Garage, please click like and subscribe, and feel free to check in again in about a week, and I'll update you guys on what happened and on if this fix worked, or, you know, what else we'll look at to rectify the situation of, you know, the secondary air injection pump issue. If it's still there, it might be gone after moving it. But again, please click like and subscribe, and thank you for tuning into the channel.